Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK channel, and today we're checking out a band. Have we done it? No, we haven't actually. We haven't reacted to anything of this band on the chat. No, we. Yes, maybe we have, maybe we haven't. I don't know. We've reacted to too many songs. I don't know. Maybe we have. I can't remember. Either way, it's the new single from this band, so let's go check it out.
Perpetually detectable, our presence is indelible. The energy.
I have to stop at the 30-second point. It is, of course, we notice it's Dog Eat Dog with their new single. So yeah, first 30 seconds in, first thoughts, Andy.
Being a big fan of all Borough Kings, it's hard for me to get on board with sort of more recent and sort of the newest Dog Eat Dog stuff. Obviously, I'll be interested to see if I do like the new material, but it's okay so far. Sort of different sort of guitar tone from that era, which is going way back. So obviously, they're entitled to sort of change and develop as a band. But yeah, big fan. Let's see what this is all about.
Okay. So this sounds very much like the last EP. So it hasn't, compared to like All Borough Kings, it's a big step. But then if you're talking about that's a 30-year-old album, effectively. So there is a big transitional period. And actually, if you go through all of the albums since then, this is much more in line with where they were. And especially on the last EP that came out in 2018? I don't know, maybe even before that. So I was kind of expecting it to be like this, and I guess for this band, we obviously had the pleasure of talking to JC on the channel early on in the year, and obviously they have their own other jobs. They get to go out on the festival circuits every so often, but they're not really what we would call like a regular touring band. So I think maybe they've come at this in the sense of what do they like for fun, and I think they're going to try. Maybe it's just going down like the Play Games album era party songs, maybe keeping it light, not trying to be as doubt they're going to go down their aggressive routes like they did with the All Borough Kings era, but see how it goes out with the rest of the album when it comes out. But Kirk,
what was the famous single of the 90s called?
Which one?
That's it. What a tune. Now I remember seeing that on MTV. The problem we've got with this song, the vocals, they're too high in the octave range for the guitar tunings. So it lacks any aggression whatsoever when you put the two together. And that took me by surprise. I think I'll need another 30 seconds to still get used to the vocal range that he's using in this song. Standard metal riffs, but I think they are well executed so far, and there's good groove to it. And, I was nodding my head and forgot that you're about to press pause after 30 seconds. And what a shot to pause it on when he's just in that beautiful blonde MMA fighter, and look at the salacious expression on his face. I think it's safe to say that he finds it rather attractive as well. Would he want to fight her, or would he want to do something else?
Oh, Kirk. I'll take you anywhere. Right, go on then.
It gets transferred, stay cyclical in nature. It's been that way for ages. Yeah, the same as the new before, improved enough to bear the load. Swipe up for your download code. But don't you dare not move, keep it there connected. Options meant to share. Let's go. Wait up, can't give up. Don't know what, not enough. Lit up, just be
Okay, so this will be the last pause before we let the song run out. But we've had the first kind of big chorus, I guess. Let's do a very quick round the houses of just our kind of thoughts. Now we've had a chance to hear a verse and a chorus of this song. Andy.
I mean, I think you mentioned the word, David, in your sort of first summary. Fun. That's what Dog Eat Dog are all about. You know, they don't never have done. You know, never taken themselves too seriously. They've always enjoyed what they're doing. This isn't as aggressive as All Borough Kings, but it is more in line with the more recent stuff. I mean, the chorus that we've just heard is sort of more typical Dog Eat Dog that I like. One sort of point about the chorus, I think you've mentioned this before on some of the ones that you've been involved in music videos. That is the drum. I think the guy's called Brandon. He's pulling back from hitting the cymbals, isn't he? He's like he's not hitting the cymbals as he would do playing the song. He's kind of like stopping, and you can see that quite clearly on the video, which for a band of this stature, this status seems a bit strange. You'd have thought they've had the setup so that he's playing through the song as he would do playing live. So that's sort of quite noticeable and a bit surprising. But yeah, enjoying it. It's a good old Dog Eat Dog, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say chorus-wise, it's a typical kind of sing-along one, and I can imagine people in the audience bouncing and jumping because that's the sort of thing they go to the concerts for. It's less about the hardcore slam pits with Dog Eat Dog. It's more about the bounce along, jump along, and the no fronts and bouncing up in the air and singing along and partying. So I can see that doing it. There is definitely some. It's almost like they vocally where he there was 100% of what you wanted to do and should have done, and then he's added an extra 10% of vocals that don't need to be there. There's certain little phrases and lines I'm like, oh, that's a bit cheesy. Like, we'll fight and we'll do this, and I'm like, really? You don't need to do that. It could have just left that open space, let it pause a little bit, let the guitars hold that, because you can go a little bit over the top. But I don't know if I was trying to think of like this feels like there's one element missing. I'm not necessarily talking about the saxophone that we always used to refer to in Dog Eat Dog, but there's just feels like you've got your guitars, you've got your bass, you've got your drums, you've got your vocals, but it still doesn't feel full enough. It feels just a little bit thin on the ground. Nice song, but just, maybe it's the weight. It's not necessarily aggression, but it just doesn't have enough fullness to the track overall for me at the moment. I don't know. Kirk?
I agree with you, Dave. There's no testosterone in this song. And this is a band called Dog Eat Dog who come from the roots are in hardcore, aren't they? There's no edge to it. I'm thinking of my album collection, and it's probably only one singer who I listen to who has a similar style, and that's Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction. I think because I very rarely listen to this vocal range, it's just so hard for me to engage with. It reminds me, do you remember that English rock band from the early 2000s, A?
Yeah.
They did a song about Starbucks, didn't they? It reminds me of the singer from that. But
okay, yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. At times, it's like he wants to throw a rhyme in there where he doesn't need to. And some of those, the onomatopoeia just does not go. It's missing a beat almost, isn't it? I've got to say, I cannot get into these vocals. That's what's putting me off so far.
Okay. Let's roll it to the end, see what else happens.
We know the way. I never said we weren't afraid, but just keep it rolling every day. Lit up times are all we have. Celebrate, lift up your flag. Jump right in, don't be a drag. Relax and take a deep breath. It's natural to de-stress. Pathway to be at your best. Version of yourself that you can be on the daily. Repeat the ceremony. Let's go. Lit up.
Okay, there we go. Dog eat dog. And lit up. Okay, so let's go around the rooms. Thoughts and feelings, Andy.
I think, Kirk, you nailed it on the last sort of part where we were speaking about, no testosterone. It's lacking a bit of edge, a bit of hardness, isn't it? I mean, I really like the riff that preceded and followed the chorus, but then they threw in some synths and keyboards over the top of it, which was really, quite strange. I think if this song was recorded in the Adk Kings session, I think it'd be an absolute banger. It's just missing that, I don't know, hard edge, hardcore element that, as you said, that's their roots and that's where they originated from. And it's getting, it's almost pop punk, wasn't it, at times? Again, it probably would sound better in its entirety. I know we've done like the stop-start sort of reaction and everything. I'm still a little on the fence about it, to be honest. But, he's one of my, a band I really, really enjoy, but that didn't grab me straight away. But if you throw it back 30 years, in a previous incarnation of the band, that probably would have been really good. I mean, when they did come out, my friends were saying, they were into the American hardcore, and Dog Eat Dog were a bit of a joke. They were from that same sort of scene. They kind of stood outside because they had this sort of fun element, this have a good time kind of element, rather than sort of the aggression. But they had some aggression back then. It's sort of lacking in this particular track.
So I think listening to it there, the aggression element, I think if they were to come, because you can see that, I mean, they're getting on, I don't think they're trying to do that aggressive vibe of hardcore. They're not looking at, I think the fun element is that they're just playing straight into that because they're known as that kind of party festival band. Get your crowds up, throw your plastic bananas in the air, yada yada, woo! And I appreciate all of that. I actually really like the track, but only because I listened to it on headphones. Once I put my headphones on, it brought I can understand a little bit what's going on here. I think when they've mixed this, they haven't listened to all the different ways you can listen to it. So when I listen to it on my speakers off the computer, it sounds incredibly dry. It doesn't feel brilliantly well balanced. And so when I put the headphones on, which is what I use for mixing and so forth, the overall mix is a lot better. Actually, the bass comes through a lot more. And when we had that kind of midsection, yes, they brought the synths in. What we felt was we suddenly got a bit more depth to the song. And then when it all finished and we went back to the chorus and the guitars just go back to themselves, you're like, the guitars sound very dry. The vocals sound incredibly dry. It feels almost like he's just gone in, recorded it with nothing on, and they've just put it straight on the album. So the vocals don't quite sit with the rest of the track. You can hear them just above it, and they haven't been balanced. And I think that's where my problem is with the vocals, is that there's just nothing on them. They're just too dry. But when you do listen to them on decent headphones, it sounds really good. Through the speakers, I'm like, nah, the mix isn't brilliant. On the headphones, mix, and that's probably one of the issues you get nowadays, is wherever they've mixed it to a certain, it sounded probably great on what they mixed it to for the speakers in the studio, but when you've then compared it to on different systems, it maybe doesn't sound quite as well. Because these are a little bit more bass heavy than my speakers in the rooms, which is why it just sounds a lot better on them. And I think that's possibly the issue. But dry vocals, no effects on the vocals at all. And with the fact that guitars are probably, I'm going to say, just double tracked. He's probably got one left, one right guitar, panned it out, done. There's no extra tracking. A lot of guitars will at least do a minimum of at least 4 tracks just to give them that weight, and I don't think they've done it on this one. And that's why it doesn't sound quite as big or as full. But overall, I actually really like the track. Kirk?
Yeah, let's start with the positives. I agree, Andy, that they were concocting quite a darker texture of guitar riff, weren't they, after that chorus? And you almost wondered, are they going to go into a breakdown from here? And I like the drum production on this as well. I think that was the dominant instrument for me. Fantastic groove from the drummer. But the real tragedy of this song is this band, I think, unintentionally have ended up in an easycore pop punk environment, which does not suit them. And I don't think that was their intention. But yeah, the vocals are so dry. They just have there's no edge to them. And the way that they're placed in the mix, I didn't have the benefit of listening to the headphones. I agree, though. They just sound out of place, don't they? I don't think this band ever intended to be anywhere near pop punk, but that's where they are And I've got to say that is probably my least favorite genre of guitar music. So I'm going to just be alienated straight away by that. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and there were some good riffs in that towards the end, but didn't do anything for me because of the chorus. I just cannot listen to that music.
Fair enough. There we go. Well, that was Dog Eat Dog and Lit Up, which unfortunately we weren't. So there we go. If you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.